to build meaningful connections and to just get inspired by new people.
One participant here said you don't realize how addicted you get to a phone until you give it up, and that spending a little time without it is, quote, quite freeing. I'm Carl Azuz for The World from A to Z, your independently produced, nonpartisan look at news. It is great to be starting off a new week with you. We talked about how bird flu is the main driver for the record egg prices seen in the U.S. right now. But health officials say the risk to public human health is and has been low. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control says there have been 70 confirmed human cases in the country since last year. Most of the Americans who've contracted bird flu had mild symptoms like temporary eye redness. And when it comes to animals like cows, they can get bird flu, but usually with mild symptoms they recover from. What about their milk? With some consumers turning to raw milk, the kind that hasn't been pasteurized or processed, health officials say there may be a greater risk if it comes from a cow with bird flu. However, Cleveland Clinic says there's not enough research to know for sure if someone can contract avian influenza from raw milk. Here are some different perspectives on the issue.
With his cows brushed and milking equipment thoroughly cleaned,
We're ready to go.
Stephen Vincent is ready to begin milking his dairy cows at Brookby Farm in upstate New York. These specialized machines collect approximately 300 gallons of milk weekly. It's then cooled and bottled on site. He and his wife Jamie sell it directly to customers in the family farm store.
I just feel like people have gotten to a point where they want to get back to more natural way of living and eating.
In the past, New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
Word and knowledge. Who was the first U.S. president to face an impeachment trial? Andrew Jackson, Andrew Johnson, Grover Cleveland, William Taft. 3 presidents have been impeached by the U.S. House of Representatives. The first with Andrew Johnson in 1868.
On this date in world history.
February 24th, 1582. Inter Gravissimus, meaning a most serious subject, was addressed by Pope Gregory XIII. After consulting with researchers and astronomers, the Pope issued a decree that would change the calendar from the Julian one to the Gregorian one. And though it took centuries for some countries to adopt it, the Gregorian calendar is the one most of the world goes by today. This was the date in 1868 when President Andrew Johnson was impeached, meaning formally accused of a crime, by the U.S. House of Representatives. It was the first time that had ever happened, and the chamber said the president violated the Tenure of Office Act, which kept presidents from removing cabinet officials without the consent of Congress. The Senate acquitted President Johnson, though, and the controversial act was later repealed. Finally, it was on February 24th, 2022, that Russia fully invaded Ukraine. Russia wanted to limit Western influence in a country on its western border. But while some nations supported Russia, attacking Ukraine brought opposition from numerous others, including the U.S., and the war continues today. What day is it?
Today, February 24th, is National Trading Card Day. Whether it's a classic baseball card or a modern Pokemon, today is a time for selling, swapping, and celebrating an old-school form of media.
Where in the world? You'll find this location in the Pacific Ocean. Its capital is Hagåtña. It's part of the Mariana Islands in an overseas territory of the United States. This is Guam, home to around 170,000 people. The Western Pacific is where we're recognizing some viewers today. Big hello to Mr. Ramirez's class, watching from the U.S. island territory of Guam. Anderson Middle School is part of Anderson Air Force Base Schools. Let's go Dragons. On the other side of the Pacific, we come to Santa Cruz, California. Thanks to Miss Audrey's class for watching from Hartman High School at Santa Cruz County Juvenile Hall. And we land in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Patriots of Mrs. Garner's class are with us from Levitt Middle School. Great to see y'all in the Silver State.
Otters and a red panda had a blast making the most of a snowy day at Zoo Knoxville. Several North American river otters were sledding on their bellies, and the zoo's red panda ate a snack while surrounded by snow. According to zoo officials, both species are well suited for colder climates. But some other animals struggled.
Don't let him go. You're going to lose him on the head there.
In Northeast Ohio, police rescued a dog that fell through the ice into a freezing pond. They used a rescue rope and catch pole. Police say the cold pup was warmed up and is now safe and sound with his family. Also in Medina County, a fire department helped a horse that had fallen on ice and couldn't get back up. They used a tow truck and rope rescue system to hoist the horse so he could stand and walk on his own. With some encouragement and help, he made it safely back to his stall.
From animals in the cold to one lucky dog who's really hot right now. At the annual Fido Awards, which has been described as the animal equivalent to the Academy Awards, Peggy just lapped up the top prize. Though it's easy or really hard to see how she could lap up anything. She's a Pugese, a cross between a pug and a Chinese crested. She's no stranger to the spotlight. Peggy previously prevailed in another contest, that of Britain's ugliest dog. It's one thing for someone to throw her a bone there, but this win puts her in the same category as Renee Zellweger, Frances McDormand, Emma Bostone, Mongrel Sheep, Sandra Pitt Bullock, Kate Whippet, Sally Field Spaniel, Reese Witherspoon, Gwyneth Paltrow, Helen Huntaway, and of course, Vivian Leach. Maybe Hollywood's a dog-eat-dog world, but Peggy can totally dig it. I'm Carl Azuz, wagging my tongue on the world from A to Z.